I do think Portuguese soccer is underrated. I wouldn't say ignorance, but I would say like in this day and age we should kind of know better.
They start talking Brazil, it would just be like,
yeah.
but then on the other hand, it's kind of right.
Like, hello. Wow, this can be a tricky question and people can disagree a lot on this, I feel like. I personally think a lot of things are similar in some things. For us, it's more like Mediterranean style. Our vibes would be more like Spain, Italy, I would say.
It's more like Europe vibes and then we're South America.
Sense. So definitely in these kind of specific things, we differ. But I think in the language itself, again, is not very that much different except for accent. But humor, I would say we have more dry humor.
I think you guys are more serious.
We look serious.
We're more like, whoa.
Yeah.
And they're more like that. But what I mean is like, we are
as people
open to new people to, getting close to them.
I would say when we can be ourselves, we share these traits. Like we are funny and I would definitely agree on that one. Yeah.
Saying that the Wright Brothers invented the airplane, which is a lie. It was Santos Dumont. I remember studying this when I was elementary school. Actually, it was invented by a Brazilian guy.
How come he didn't get the credit?
I don't know. I thought everyone knew about this. I thought everyone knew that it was Santos Dumont. We were like playing this game, and then one of the questions was like, "Who invented the airplane?" And I was like, "I know." And then he was like, "The Wright Brothers."
Oh my god!
I was like,
because this is how I also
right
knew
now.
it. I didn't know this.
Yeah, I thought everyone knew it was.
That's
Santos
insane.
Dumont.
I will defend your honor from now on.
Thank
I
you
will
so
also.
much. I did some searching, and I think that Santos Dumont did it first. He's older than them.
I think like we sometimes are kind of underrated because like these days, especially because I work in the science field, there's a lot of really talented like scientists in Portugal. Like there's a lot of good papers coming out of Portugal. We have a lot of, so I literally want to give a shout out to them because they are amazing, and there's a lot of people I admire back home. But in known inventions that people probably don't know, I would say like tempura is one of them, because we thought like when the Portuguese went to Nagasaki, I would say like we taught the frying method. So the tempura is actually like a Portuguese thing. Castella, it actually originates from our pão de ló, which is
pão de ló. Yeah, I like
pão de
that.
ló. So that is actually also from Portugal. So there's a lot of those kind of things that Portugal also doesn't really get credit for, to be honest.
Foreigners criticizing Brazil. So we have this thing in Brazil where we can talk shit about a country because we know that a lot of things, but we could be like a circle of 5 people just talking shit about Brazil. Then if one person comes in the circle and that person is not from Brazil and they start talking shit about Brazil, we'd just be like,
yeah,
let's fight. Because like it's our country, we know it's not respectful for other people to comment.
Exactly.
So it gets me really mad.
But I can relate because we are the same actually. We may not express it as much, but we definitely are the same. Like we can say, this is the problem. Of course this happened, whatever. Because we tend to have a little bit of a negative mindset sometimes as a society. But the moment a foreigner says crap about Portugal, like we will not tolerate that.
Yeah.
Immediately achievements will be unlocked. You know, it will like, yeah, we are definitely like the nationalism, the patriotism. We also have it. So I understand that's very frustrating.
Assuming that Brazilian women are easy to foreigner tourists. Okay, so I think there's a lot of stereotypes like Brazilians are sexy and stuff like that. And also we are more open-minded to dating foreigners. Yeah. Because like in some countries, especially in Asia, they are very strict, right? Like the parents, this is so funny because in Asia countries, if you tell your mom and your dad that you're gonna marry someone from another country, they're like, no. But if you tell your parents in Brazil that I'm gonna marry someone from outside Brazil, like, really? Yeah. That's so nice. They really like it. So maybe that's why we're just more open to meet people from all over the world. So
that's really cool.
And people kind of misunderstand that.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, how about Portugal?
So like in our case is like we are not generally very open people just to anyone. It's kind of what we discussed before, but we definitely can be very friendly and welcoming because most of us are very warm-hearted people. We are good people, most of us, you know. So it's like we don't really have this stereotype associated to us because again, you don't really see a lot of Portuguese people. But again, you also see some married with other, for example, like European, you know, like. So it really depends, but it's not as common, I would say, because again of that kind of like openness, I'd say.
But we are not that easy, okay?
That's bad to assume.
Yeah, don't go to Brazil and be like, oh, I'm gonna get all the girls, you know, I'm gonna have fun. It's not that we are easy. Maybe you were easy, you know? Maybe you were the easy one.
If you think that's the case, you should kind of like rethink maybe why you think that way and, you know, just respect people's like you want to be respected.
Keep that in mind. Always communicate if you go to Brazil and meet someone. So,
yeah.
That's it. Assuming that Brazilians speak Spanish, this gets me so mad. Because every time I see them from Brazil, people are like, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I can understand that, obviously, but I think that because Brazil is in South America and we are the only country in South America that does not speak Spanish as a first language, people think we speak Spanish and we don't. So like Brazilian speaks Portuguese, Portugal speaks Portuguese. It's obvious that Portugal speaks Portuguese. So maybe they get like Spanish. They also get questions like, do you speak Spanish? But I think we get more because there's no Brazilian language.
They just assume because it's the region.
Yeah, and because there's no Brazilian language, it's Portuguese. They don't know things. They'll be like, why does Brazilian speak Portuguese? Like, isn't it Spanish? So what do you think about it?
So this definitely pisses me off. I will not be kind about this topic because I will be honest. I understand that region-wise you can assume that Brazil would speak Spanish. I wouldn't say ignorance, but I would say like in this day and age we should kind of know better, honestly.
Or you should at least ask.
At least
what
ask.
language if you don't know.
What's your language? Exactly. Like I think that would be nice. So I kind of get it, but Brazilian people and Portuguese people share this same kind of annoying assumption because, especially as she really well explained, our country name is literally Portugal. And the language is Portuguese. So like that's literally, it's in the name. So this one has no excuse. I don't know, it would be nice if some people would know a little bit more about that before just assuming the language. Yeah, I agree with this one. It's really annoying.
I think if I was from Portugal, I would get really mad.
It's really annoying.
Because like Brazil, we don't have the word Portu something in our country.
It's
Brazil.
Harder. Yeah,
so it's a little bit harder to someone to know that we speak Portuguese. But Portugal is literally Portuguese.
It just says
so
it's
I would
right
get
there.
so mad.
Exactly.
Not knowing what the capital of Brazil is. I get so mad when people are like, oh, you're from the capital, like São Paulo.
Really? I thought people would say Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, some people do,
Yeah.
but I don't get that mad Rio because, I mean, 100 years ago, it was Rio.
Yeah.
And they changed to Brasilia.
Right.
So, I mean, you're not completely wrong.
Yeah.
Just like 100 years later.
Just a bit off.
Yeah, a little bit late, but I mean, Brasilia is just, it sounds so much like Brazil. It's so easy to memorize. Brazil, Brasilia.
I do think that online, like on entertainment, Rio gets a lot of attention. That's why I think people probably assume, because usually the capitals, in the movies, the James Bond movies or whatever, they are the ones who get the attention.
Yeah.
So I think people just assume, but I agree, they should search.
And the fun thing is that Brasilia was made, they created Brasilia just to be the capital.
Right.
It was designed and everything just for the capital.
Exactly.
No one give credits to that.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. But
It's okay, Brasilia people. It's okay. We know.
Assuming that all Brazilians know how to samba, play soccer, and live on the beach. I really hate when I see them from Brazil and they're like, okay, samba. But then, on the other hand, it's kind of right. Like, samba, soccer, and loving the beach. You have at least one of this.
All my Brazilian friends are pretty good at one of these. Like,
Exactly.
honestly.
I don't know how to do samba. I never tried. I don't listen to it. But I love soccer. Like, I like playing
Same.
soccer. And I'm good at soccer.
Same.
I love going to the beach. And all my friends are like that. Like, either they like samba or either they like soccer or either they love going to the beach. So it's always going to be one of them.
Right.
But don't assume things, please.
Yeah.
Not everyone. So do you think a lot of people assume this for Brazilians?
Yeah. I think, not that I assume because I know very well. Like Portuguese people know very well that's not all Brazil has to offer. Brazil has like a lot of amazing cool things. It's not just three things. Like I do think that foreigners though, like watching movies, etc. This is usually what you get in the movie. So it's not very helpful that in entertainment this is what it's portrayed. But I think it's also very fixable. Just talk to a Brazilian person, like, and they will tell you. But I do agree with that.
Implying that Brazil does not have the best soccer in the world. We have the most of prizes in the World Cup. We won 5 times. You don't have to agree, it's just the reality, About the German thing, we do not talk about that, okay? It's in the past, we don't have to talk about it.
I remember.
Sometimes everyone makes mistakes, so what do you think about this?
Okay, like I will be straight up, even from Portuguese people, most of them will tell you, honestly, it's a fact, it's true, Brazil has the best soccer, has a lot of amazing players. So, like, not just because they are like brothers and sisters to us, but because it's just simply the truth, okay? Now, I do think Portuguese soccer is underrated. Let me insert that in there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We got amazing players, y'all. Like, no one remembers Figo. No one remembers these kind of players. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel we could also move the focus always out of the same teams. Love Brazil. Amazing. We'll always support them. But, like, let's just, like, not only Brazil and Italy. Like, let's look at everyone. These days everyone's doing so well, But you know what? I agree with your point. That's my point.
Yeah. So slamming the car door. My dad used to get mad at me when I was young. I didn't do it on purpose, but in Brazil, like if you slam it too hard, people are gonna think you're angry, and they're gonna be like, "Why are you doing this?" But in Korea, it's not that bad to do it, because like every time I get off the taxi, sometimes not on purpose, I close it too hard, and I'm like, oh, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." You know, like I kill someone. I'm like, "I'm so sorry, I just don't hit me." And then he's like, "Why are you sorry for?" But if you do the same in Brazil, like people be like. So like yeah, I was kind of shocked. How was it in Portugal?
Same. I was taught to not slam doors. Like, you slam doors in my house, you will, you can't do that in Portugal either. It's just rude. Plus, you're slamming other people's property, like the door. It's just not nice. So I think it's the same for us.
Car.
The cars, yeah. Slamming the car door is the same thing for us. Like, you just don't slam doors, period.
Yeah, true.
You know, most of the times they don't really care if I say sorry.
They're like, chill. Not greeting or saying goodbye. So I lived outside of Brazil for so long, I kind of forgot about this. So now when I meet my friends from Brazil, like we do special dinner with Brazilian people, and everyone comes, they hug, kiss, and say hi. And then I come, and I'm just like, hey, and then I sit down, and everyone's like, you're not gonna say hi to me? Like, I just did. They're like, no, come here. And then they wanna hug, and like, they're like, I like it now, but now they do, so it's really nice. Even say goodbye too. Like sometimes if someone's busy, it's like a party in the house, and I just leave, they're gonna message me. Why didn't you say goodbye to me? Like, what? I'm gonna say tomorrow. Like, it's not a big deal. We're like, no, come back and say proper goodbye. What manner is that? So it's really cool. What do you think about this culture?
I agree. It's the same kind of vibe, but I do appreciate the acknowledgement. You know what I mean? Because in Portugal, I was raised, like we go into, for example, a cafe. Anywhere we go, restaurant, oh, bom dia, boa noite, boa tarde, whatever. We always greet and acknowledge the people in the room, and I think that's really sweet. And I kind of tried to do that in Korea the first few times, but then I understood it's a cultural thing. It's like, it's a very individualistic part of society. It's not like no one has to know your business or no one has to acknowledge you. So I understand that now, and I obviously don't take it personally.
Saying to the Brazilians that you don't look like a Brazilian.
Oh, I get this a lot. No, like saying I look Brazilian. I don't like this personally when they say.
I hate this one. Because we are so mixed. We have people from all over the world. You could look Asian, black, white, yellow, and you are still Brazilian. And I heard this so many times, like, you're too white for a Brazilian. This one color, Brazilian. No, we are all mixed.
Just like a standard model.
I think the Brazilian girls are like usually very tan and big booties
like
and
Adriana
everything.
Lima type.
But not everyone is like that. We have a lot of different type of people there. How about Portugal?
For me, when it comes to this, I actually listen to the opposite. Like, it usually comes from Brazilian people. I take it as a compliment, of course. I know they mean well, but at the same time, coming from my perspective, it kind of sounds like I hear this, you look Brazilian, you don't look Portuguese. So like, if you put yourself in my shoes, like how do you think that would sound, right? If I said, you don't look Brazilian, like, again, this is the same issue basically in the end. So like, Brazilian people, gorgeous, many kinds of people, all kinds of personalities. There's literally not one specific Brazilian stereotype you can put. Different regions, different people, as she said, like mixed people. However, like when Brazilian people say like, you don't look Portuguese, you look Brazilian, I kind of think they already assume that Portuguese people have some sort of negative stereotype associated with them.
True.
Like whatever, like jokes are online. And I just, like, I really don't appreciate that, because if I said that about the Brazilian person, they wouldn't like it either.
True.
And I think Portuguese people are just so beautiful in all their different, like, diversity. There are just so many different kind of Portuguese girls. They're all stunning to me, just like Brazilian girls. So wish people would not also say things like this personally. Yeah.
I agree.
High five.
That's fine. It's good to know what our country, our brother, sister country thinks of us and the issues, compared to issues.
Right. I really do appreciate it too. Like, having these conversations I think is important, because good-minded people, good-intended people in both countries, I think we can make a huge effort forward for a good relationship, honestly. So that's, I think, what we need more in the world. Not more hate or anything like that. We can all understand each other. So I love these kind of videos, honestly, for that reason.
It makes me kind of mad, but it's good to talk about it, right? So because sometimes people do it not because they have a bad intention or anything, they just don't know how we feel about it, or they don't know why something is like that. So it's always good to explain things like that to people. So yeah, hope someone can, who's watching can learn from this video.
I hope so.
That would make me happy.
Communicate, respect.
And all the Brazilians happy.
And all the Portuguese happy.
And Portugal, yes, all
Yes.
Portuguese happy. Today we look up to the Brazilian taboo.
And if you like this video, comment and subscribe.
Bye.